I will explain the real-life chess references found in the Queen's Gambit Episode 7 titled Endgame. Do you want to know why Borgoff really played the Albin counter gambit against Beth? Keep watching and I'll tell you that plus so much more. Let's get started. Number 5. Nona Grapindashvili. Nona Grapindashvili is a Georgian chess player and the first woman to be awarded the FIDE Grandmaster title. She won the Soviet Chess Championship 5 times and was the women's world chess champion from 1962 to 1978. In the series, the announcer correctly states that Nona is the female world champion, but then states that she has never faced men, a line to which the real Nona took offense because it was not true. In fact, Nona had tied for first in the Hastings Challengers Tournament in 1963 and 1964. The book was more gracious in saying Grapindashvili had played all the Russian grandmasters before, but was not up to the level of this particular tournament. Nona, the real Nona, was inducted in the World Chess Hall of Fame in 2013 and still plays chess to this day. Number 4. Bronstein. When speaking about Luchenko's exploits at the Moscow tournament, the announcer mentioned that Luchenko, as a boy, had defeated Alekhine in an exhibition, played to a draw with Botvinnik, and crushed Bronstein in Havana. I've mentioned Alekhine and Botvinnik before. David Bronstein was a Soviet and Russian chess player who was in the original FIDE Grandmaster class of 1950. He was one of the world's strongest players throughout the mid-20th century and narrowly missed becoming the world chess champion in 1951 because he tied the match with the reigning world champion Mikhail Botvinnik, who instead got to retain the title. Bronstein never played for the championship again, but remained a strong player for over 30 years. Bronstein had a few chess openings named after him and wrote many chess books. Also, Havana is the site of the Capablanca Memorial Tournament that attracts the top players from around the world, similar to how the Moscow tournament did that in this show. Alekhine, Botvinnik, and Bronstein were all at world champion strength in the 1940s, which makes the fictitious young Luchenko's results against them very impressive. Number 3. The English Opening. Best game after defeating Luchenko is with the Grandmaster Flento, where she plays the English Opening against him, in particular the 4 Knights variation. The announcer calls the sequence to be like the Sicilian in reverse. I've covered the Sicilian defense and some of its variations in my previous videos. Whenever white opens with pawn to queen bishop 4, that is called the English Opening. The English derives its name from the unofficial world champion Howard Staunton from England, who played it during his 1843 match with Santamont, and also in the first international tournament in London in 1851. The English is the 4th most popular opening move by white, and has been played in several World Championship matches. Beth and Flento play the 4 Knights variation of the English Opening. It is sometimes called the Sicilian in reverse because in the Sicilian, the first 2 moves are pawn to king 4 and pawn to queen bishop 4, whereas the first 2 moves of the 4 Knights variation are pawn to queen bishop 4 and pawn to king 4. By playing the English Opening, Beth not only showed her mastery of different openings, but also made it harder for Borgoff to predict what she would play against him in the final match. Number 2. The Albin Counter Gambit. In the final match, Beth plays the namesake Queen's Gambit opening against Borgoff. Borgoff plays a rare response, the Albin Counter Gambit. Like I explained in my first video, a gambit in chess is when one player offers material to the other player in exchange for an attack or better position. A counter gambit is when the second player, instead of accepting the gambit, offers a piece in return. The first few moves of the Albin counter gambit are as follows: pawn to queen 4, pawn to queen 4, pawn to queen bishop 4, pawn to king 4. The opening got its name from Adolf Albin, a Romanian chess player. who played it against Emanuel Lasker in New York in 1893. Borgov saw how well Beth played after the resumption of her adjourned game with Luchenko, so he likely played this rare response to get Beth away from any opening surprises she may have prepared for him with the Queen's Gambit. And number 1, Endgame. I believe no title is more fitting for this episode than Endgame. It is the end of the series, and we get to see Beth conquer the last obstacle on her quest to become the best chess player in the world, which is a win against the world champion. Chess is divided into 3 phases: the opening, the middle game, and the end game. The end game usually begins once there is less than half the pieces remaining on the board and the king has become an active participant in the game. Endgame analysis can be tedious and exhausting due to multiple options available to the players on an open board. Most often, mastery of the endgame can mean the difference between a loss and a draw, or a draw and a win. Beth declined Borgov's offer of a draw in the final match because she saw he was getting tired, and she would settle for nothing less than a win. Shortly thereafter, she finished him off in the endgame by calculating a checkmate that, according to the book, was an incredible 19 moves away. And that's my list. I hope you learned something new and cool about chess in this video. Were there any references that I missed that should have made it on this list? Add those to the comments below. And while you're at it, like and subscribe to Smart Hobbies and share this link with someone else you think would enjoy it. I plan to make at least one more Queen's Gambit video where I'll point out what chess references were missing from the series. In the meantime, I recommend you check out these other videos from my channel. Thank you so much for watching.